UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres commented. He said that this year's theme highlights the importance of investing in data collection to understand issues, tailor solutions, and drive progress. The key activities of this day include educational campaigns and events, public discussions on population-related issues, and advocacy for policies supporting sustainable development and family planning. Awesome, amazing. So very quickly, what do we find in the news? Who do I start with? NJ, Mary, let me close my eyes. Ella is you. What do you find in the news today?
Okay.
This one I said,
so, I mean, for me,
this
news it's something that always happens, and I chose this news because I like the fact that nowadays, I'm sure the internet is actually making this kind of conversation very popular.
Okay.
So, a businessman bagged life jail for raping his daughter.
What?
Yeah. So the Special Offense Court of Sexual Offense and Domestic Violence, they on the 11th of July, they actually sentenced a 34-year-old businessman, Mr. Oluwafemi Asekeji, to life imprisonment for sexually assaulting his 12-year-old daughter.
Oh my goodness.
This was disclosed in a statement by the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency obtained by our correspondents on Wednesday. According to this statement, the preceding judge, Justice Abiola, noted that the prosecution has proved 3 legs of the charge of rape against Asekeji. My own question is, how do you find your own daughter?
Your child.
A child, 12 years old, that has not even finished growing, sexually appealing. It's really sick and disheartening. Like,
really
like I said, I'm really happy that we have social media now and we're actually throwing more lights on sexual offenders. Like and I think it's time for them to have a sexual offenders record that will be publicly accessible, so that when these kind of things happen, you report the people that are being reported. People would also know that, okay, these people are, because I'm sure this is not his first attempt. And then, in fact,
it's really sad, and I hope she
gets
the care
help she needs. Yes.
That's so sad. Yeah, Mary.
So mine's actually a story. I don't know if they can pull up the video of a little girl. Yeah. So basically, I think the police was about to arrest her mom, and the little girl is screaming and like shouting and, you know, talking rude to the police. So the comments had me at, is this, you know, bad parenting, or like, do you think the child was just defending, you know, her mom? And I don't think it has anything to do with bad parenting. Can we have the audio?
Okay, just go ahead.
All right, so basically, the child was shouting, and I don't think there's anything wrong in that. A lot of people were saying, oh, this is a symptom of, you know, bad parenting, and I just feel like anyone would fight for their mom as well. Like, if you don't know what this child has gone through, you don't know if the amount of black people she has seen, you know, shot by the police, and then like this is happening in her front. So definitely she's very much aware, you know, despite her age, and she's only looking out for her mom. And I think it's
obvious that the mom is even calmer than the daughter.
Yeah.
And the girl must have been scolded about Black Lives Matter. Because
Yeah.
for her to be, she's talking out of anger, out of like...
Yeah.
And as
She
a
might
kid...
have seen
exactly,
a lot of things.
Like her mom is calmer than she is. So she's, that's if maybe any of their family members have not even been killed by...
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
See the way she's able
with so much energy.
gesticulating. You can see that it's so painful. But yeah, NJ.
Well, I hope they were able to resolve that.
I hope so too.
Well, my news story is, I just caught a glimpse of this, and I just thought to share that the customs agency in Nigeria are scouting for young, talented basketballers in schools. So for me, I think what caught my attention was the comment section. You know,
Nigerians always go to the comment section.
You can see that the one on the screen already, which says, "Them no discover young farmers, now basketballers, misplaced priorities." Some others were like, why not contact the sports ministry? You know, when it concerns something like this, you have an agency and a body
Yes,
already gifted with the ability to be able to tell you this is a professional, someone who can go professional or what have you. So it's a great initiative, but it's coming. I think one thing we get a lot in Nigeria is misplaced priorities in terms of what to make public. I'm not saying you shouldn't make it public, but there is, do you understand? It shouldn't be something, but I'm sorry, but in Nigeria, with the kind of problems we go through in Nigeria, you really don't want to hear that customs officers are looking for basketball.
I'm wondering what the correlation is between customs and sports.
You know, most of these agencies, in order to also be a part of society, they get into sports, they have groups, they have football. That's how you come about so many football groups and everything from different states, different organizations. So they come up with their own teams to compete, which is easily understandable. But you see, when you see something like this in the news, you know, customs and basketball, it's just hilarious. Like someone said, the basketball talents na contraband, you know. So
I mean,
people just feel that this is not what should be publicized. Even if it's happening, it should happen like
God, it shouldn't make the news.
Why is it making the news? It shouldn't make the news, because when it makes the news, it just infuriates everyone.
Yeah.
Looking at the current situation of things, it's just crazy. But yeah,
it is well, and I hope the people they select do well and make the Nigerian people proud. All right. So what did I find in the news? Electricity tariff. Don't impose ban A on us, says the Nigerian Hospital Medical College. The management of the College of Medicine of the University of Lagos and the Lagos University Teaching Hospital have cried out over what they described as an outrageous electricity bill charged by a co-electricity distribution company for May. The healthcare institution said they were recently jointly presented with a bill of about 280 million naira for May, instead of the less than 100 million naira they used to pay. According to the provost, a public educational institution with little revenue generated due to the low cost of education in Nigeria, in the country, such as electricity bill, cannot be sustained. So this is actually outrageous. Imagine going from paying for electricity, you know, from less than 100 million to almost 300 million naira, and they're not really making profit. So they are spending all their monies on electricity, and it's not really helpful for the students that are learning and even for the institution and for the people that even come to get health care. Imagine going to the hospital and there's no light. It's really, really sad. But today we're going to have an amazing conversation. But before we dive right into it, let's go for this quick break. When we come back, we will start the conversation. Do stay with us.
Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking.
It is important we drive conversations that informs, inspires, and influences thoughts and actions.
If we say there is beauty in diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture.
We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation.
As we are the hope for the future,
Yesterday's conversation shaped today.
What are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you.
Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching What Are You Saying? #Ways. In a world where more is often seen as better, we must ask ourselves, when do we have enough? From the clothes we wear to the food we eat and the gadgets we cannot live without. overconsumption has become a way of life for most people in the 21st century. But at what cost to our wallet, our well-being, and our planet? Today, we will explore the impact of overconsumption, why it is so important or why it is so prevalent, and what we can do to create a more sustainable future. Overconsumption or excessive consumption refers to a state whereby an individual consumes more than necessary. It is the excessive consumption or use of goods and services that cause harm or detrimental effects to humans and or the environment. Today, we're going to be discussing the topic overconsumption. When do we have enough? You know, that's such a great topic, and we're going to have an amazing time discussing this today. All right, so can you please play the video? Video that's been circulating on social media recently. Has anybody seen this video? Mm-hmm. It's been circulating recently, and it shows how many useless items we buy, even though we do not need them. Maybe it's just one or two we need. You can see the man that had like 10 hats on his head. You know, see this guy has like 5 glasses on him. See the bags, the purses she has. And it's even the way the other woman was looking at her with bad eye. Like you say, if you have your own, you're wearing multiple scarves, you know, around you. So it basically shows us how many useless items we buy, even though we need only 1 or 2. We don't need so many sunglasses, so many bags, or so many sets of suits and watches and so on. So please buy responsibly and buy what you need. But first of all, I would like to ask, what is that one thing or item you would have most on you if you were asked to make this video? So if you were in this video now, so you see the guy that has so many wristwatches, the guy that has so many hats, the guy that has so many glasses. So for me, let me explain to you, because we may be like, what's she talking about? So for me, I overbuy dresses, like clothes. I have more than I need. I mean, I have a nice shape. Sorry. Respectfully. So I always like to wear like nice dresses that, you know, show the curves, but, you know, not trying to seduce anybody, but just moderate and nice and good, you know. So I have more than I need, you know. And there's something that social media does, you know, when you maybe Google or rather search for maybe Zephyrs & Co, maybe a fashion brand, and maybe you purchase what you want to purchase. After that, you keep seeing ads of dresses, and you're like, this dress is nice, so I'll send it to my tailor. And my tailor does not even make it any better. Miriam, I'm calling you out on live TV. She will send me pictures of clothes. Auntie Shay, try this dress. And she, let's sew this one. I have this material that you like. And me too. I will say, don't worry, let me. And the thing is that even if I say I don't have money, she say, don't worry, I'll sew it for you. When you have money, pay me. She's the enemy. You are the enemy, Miriam. But anyways, I love it either way. So what's that one thing that you feel you overconsume? You know, it could be food, it could be maybe like eating parfait and you always buying parfait and just trashing it every time. So maybe I'll start with you. This one you're looking, it's like you have many things.
Because first of all, I have a problem with, I think you made mention to that they're useless.
No, not always useless.
No, you made mention to the video. And you said a lot of useless things, and I was just like,
buy more than what you need.
And you said,
and
then you made a comment as well. You said you have dresses, you have more than, like,
at least have money for something else.
Different items serve different purposes.
Absolutely.
You buying is putting food to somebody's table, which is
I'm getting broke.
Which is your tailor. You're getting broke. You're doing work, and your work is paying you. It's a cycle, and I feel like things have to move around. I don't necessarily see it as overconsumption. Like, I mean, I don't know. Are you saying we should just have one shirt and one trouser?
No,
or like,
never. I wouldn't say that. But I'm saying, you know, some people buy more than what they need. That's where I'm emphasizing on buying like, more than what you need. So you have sorry. So you have like earrings.
It's not even earrings because I don't have that many. I just reshuffle them.
Okay, just say what.
Think that there are lots. I said I don't have any.
You must have. Just think of something. I don't have. You must. I'll come back to you. Alera, what about you? What's that one thing that you can say? You buy. You have a lot of it, and sometimes you're like, why am I buying more? I have enough of this item.
I don't fall into that category.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't overconsume anything.
Girl.
Are you whining me? No, but on the serious note, remember when we started this conversation earlier, what I could think about mostly for my own points is I can overbuy things, but I don't overconsume them. For instance, like I was telling you that it was from a mind of sometimes
We're still going to answer it thoroughly eventually.
I think that there's a limit to which you would say overconsumption. So when it comes to the word overconsumption, which is buying more than I actually need, not even, it doesn't even cut close to something I would call maybe like clothes or even like tennis outfits. Sometimes people say, oh, you have a lot of tennis outfits, but I'm like, yeah. Because it's different, like you go to Wimbledon, it's white. You go to another country, it's another color. So we have to mix it all up. But it's not overconsumption.
But I think, I mean, to drive to that, for me, again, it's more of people that like food now. You have to eat because you need to stay alive.
Yeah.
Right? You're hungry, you buy food or you get a meal and then you eat. And then for some people, 1 hour later, they're eating again. Another time,
the fridge cannot be stocked up.
The next thing, they are craving and they are overeating and over-consuming, and it actually leads to whatever it is. There are some people, they'll tell you that I like going to parties, or every Friday I like going to club. And then you find yourself doing that same thing, having that same habit, buying drinks and alcohol, and you're over-consuming it. And the next thing, you are broke, or the thing is actually taking you to, God knows, another direction. So for me, it's more like your definition of overconsumption, I'm saying it as people doing things extra. But I wouldn't really tag it to purchasing of, it's a bit, I don't know how to place it. It's a bit difficult to place it when it comes to fashion.
You will place it
because I'm not going to wear, look, even if I'm, okay, like the video that we showed earlier, people wearing multiple items at the same time. This was an ad. Nobody's going to be wearing 5 hats at the same time.
It was just
I'm sorry, but just to bring it to your knowledge, there is literally a celebrity
can we
online.
Have that picture?
There's literally a celebrity on Instagram, and he's known for that. He's known for always wearing a jacket with watches all over it.
Why?
So he has all the watches of every season he has different designer wristwatches. So he is a sign of his own wealth is right on him. So and it's a flair for him. It's something, but it's appreciation to other people. It's like art.
Okay, so it's lovely and beautiful to hear that you ladies don't overconsume. Now I feel very bad. Can I take my part again? Well, anyways, I don't regret what I said. So overconsumption is something that we see everywhere, right? So from our daily use of plastic to fast fashion industry, like I said, ready to wear everywhere. I see ready to wear. You can buy easily and you just spend more than what you actually budgeted for, right? And also fast food. There are some things that I love parfait. I wouldn't say I overconsume it, but there are some people who now, why is AJ looking at me?
Because you said parfait like 3 times tonight.
So she loves it.
I didn't know it was your thing.
I don't buy it more like that, but I love parfait. Like anytime I get
it.
Yes, and sometimes, most times, you trash it and you don't know where they trash it, whether it's, it's in the environment and it's littering everywhere. So So since you said you ladies don't overconsume, but I mean, you see different people here and there overconsuming, like the guy that has so many wristwatches. Why do you think, your opinion, why do you think people tend to overconsume? Is it that they want to show that they have money, or is I was going to say a psychological thing, or what exactly could be the reason why people overconsume? They buy more than what they need.
You already said psychological.
There's a psychological effect. I would take the first one. My first point would be pleasure. I hear that, there's when some people who are spendthrifts, like they spend almost as it's coming in. You get 100,000 naira today, and by tomorrow you're down to like 1,000 naira, and you can't seem to pinpoint. So there are people like that, and some of them, an extreme case of like overconsumption will be just for pleasure. It gives, they always say that there's dopamine that is released in the brain at this point in time. So for some people, it's just sheer pleasure. For some people, just like you rightfully said, is for show off, to be able to be recognized within a certain circle or within a certain level in life. Is to show off how far they've come. So it's different things for different people. So yeah, for some people it's stress relieving. You hear people that say they do stress eating.
Yeah.
You know,
they do stress buying,
shopping. So some people relieve. So it also, you know, coincides with pleasure because it makes them feel good. It's the feeling they get from it at the end of the day.
Well, it's going to make you broke.
We'll get to the financial part. We'll get to the financial part. So I know I already touched on social media and, you know, advertisements. Yeah. And you know how these gadgets, they listen to what you say. You can just say, oh, I want this nice earring, or I want to get this phone, or this car, or maybe just do a quick search on Instagram. And all the ads you are seeing is buy car. And you know the way, so in advertising, they make the consumer feel like they're missing out if they don't get this. You know, they do a lot of sales. They do a lot of, if you don't buy it, you're missing out and all of that. So let's just briefly talk on the role social media and advertisements play in this whole overconsumption thing, because there are some people that, there are some ads that, you know, is everywhere. And when people know that you've purchased this item and they see it on you, oh, this cloth is from so and so, you're like, yeah, because you want to meet I know we already touched on how people buy stuff because they want to please a certain group of people. But let's just talk about social media and how it actually encourages people to overconsume in your own point of view.
Well, sales is a big thing.
It is.
Do you understand?
In all, you know, honesty of it all, sales is a big thing. And all these companies are only bothered about their bottom line and about
honestly,
sales.
they don't care whether you spend your last
Over time,
cash.
we've noticed that technology has become the in thing. So we spend 98% of our time on our phones. Yeah. Yeah. So if I'm going to be looking at my phone every time, of course advertising is going to come to my phone.
Sure. Because
that's the whole idea. The whole idea of technology is to bring anything closer to you. Shopping, much closer. So before, you would literally have to walk a mile to a shopping mall, shopping complex, to buy whatever you want to buy.
Now you just on your phone.
You're literally, you can be lazy about it. So you shop clothes, you shop house items, you shop. So it's easy for you. And up until your bank account or your ATM says insufficient funds, you don't even know that you don't have enough funds.
Yeah, and based on what you're saying, what has happened now is most companies, they have actually tilted towards consumer behavior now. Yes. And what they are doing is they're using your psychological behavior to monitor this person, like, we've noticed that she's always clicking on shoes, okay. Well, she has checked 2 shoe pages today, okay. The next thing, any advert coming on shoes,
they call it, they have a name for it in marketing. I'm trying to remember.
You would see it there, and you yourself, you'd be like, why am I seeing this thing?
Ad click.
Yeah. So like you'd be wondering, like, okay, I think it was I was looking for a specific skincare product, and I wasn't sure. Like I said, the whole entire thing for me is scarcity. I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. And the moment I found it on a particular page, I actually bought more than I needed. And the only reason was because I don't know where I go see this thing again, right? From my own point of view, it's scarcity. And again, sometimes if you have, like I said, economy really sometimes affects this type of decisions for some people. I just want to buy it and just have enough. Then now there are some people that they buy, have enough, and consume it immediately, right? Well, for me, maybe because now, how much is dollar to naira now? When you think about it, because we don't know whether dollar is going to enter 2K. Yeah. So the best thing is when you find something, you just purchase. But they've really used like your consumer psychology to deal with you. They're saying that, they know you like pink. Okay, the next thing they're showing you one nice pink blazer, just like what NJ is wearing, like looking her. And next thing you see another color of blazer. Oh, this girl likes colors. Yeah. So and social media and AI has also, tilted into the whole consumer behavior again. You see different things. In fact, it's so bad now that I think on WhatsApp, they want to start advertising.
And they've started now.
They've started advertising.
It's everywhere. You are not safe anymore. Everywhere, buy. Everything is business. You're not safe anywhere.
And it's not just for clothes, it's not just for, it's literally they
It's-
sell
yeah, it's
everything.
for everything,
And they just
so-
use algorithms, you know, whatever you search, your search buttons.
Because you
what
actually give them
click.
access to
Yes,
all
so
this
once you
information.
do that, see that you want to click, you want to buy, you want to purchase, and
Buy two, get one free.
you
Free
know, things-
delivery,
yeah,
all those
that's
things
another
will
thing.
just
Yeah,
make
free-
you want
a lot
to-
of free stuff.
Free stuff, yeah,
Bug off.
exactly.
But the kind of wasted that
Ah,
people would have gone through
see.
it. Because for me, I feel like it's addictive.
What's addictive?
Like, if you're over-consuming, it means that you're an addict.
I have a
And
problem
next you
with
enter gbese
how
'cause
we're
you're
only
owing.
looking at the negative of this thing.
Overconsumption, when something is over, it's already negative.
So I have a statement here.
Okay.
It says, what's an example of overconsumption? It says overconsumption is a problem due to the finite number of natural resources on the planet. For example, if humans utilize all of the trees on the planet for lumber, we close because like let it go round and let's grow more so that more people can have more. But then if there's no overconsumption in how we're talking about it, we're talking about AI and all of these things, how are we going to evolve? Because as human beings or as beings, we're always going to evolve. You're going to evolve into different stages. And whether we like it or not, AI, social media, and all of these things have benefited each and every one of us. And it's still going to go far because what we've scratched now is just like surface level. Nobody had imagined that at some point I will be able to like shop abroad. I mean, there are people who are in Nigeria who don't even need to visit abroad to have like, you know, sort of like a cool lifestyle and stuff. You can get everything that you want from the comfort of your seat. So the point where we're seeing like, oh, you know, people are buying multiple watches. For me, I'm seeing it from the point of more people are making more money. You know, and the money is in circulation. I always say it's a circulation because sometimes, you know, I'm always thinking, oh my God, I'm going to buy this new bag. And then, you know, one day something just occurred to me to say, if you do not, like, you buying this bag, you're looking at it only from your own point of, your point of gaining perspective, which is, how about the other person who is on her knees there thinking, oh God, please bring me sales today. Do you understand? Like,
so she's selling and
she's selling, like, it's a cycle. So if you bless what you're giving out, you as well will receive.
Preach, preacher.
I don't know, but like, I just
preacher.
really have like
So
a
I really
different-
like the perspective that Mary is coming from. Mary is always the other person that is, you know, giving us a different point of view. I agree, right? So for every good thing, there's always a bad thing to it. For every bad thing, there's always a good thing to it. Yeah. So do you, just
in
to
that,
quickly
in that note, I mean, on that note, based on what both of you have said, I'm going to come from the angle of the data that we have regarding credit cards. When credit cards were created, it's for emergency spending, right? You have to, maybe you have something very important you need money for. But research has actually proven that most people that use credit cards use it to buy stupid things. Things that could have waited.
Yeah.
Like you check a credit card statement and you're seeing shopping, buying shoes, going on trip, things that could have waited, not like was a hospital bill. Do you get what I'm saying? So a lot of the time, this overconsumption thing, I think it's a personal attitude type of thing that if you as a person, you feel like this is what I need to do and I'm not doing it too much. Like you said, it's a cycle. Everybody needs to spend money for another person to profit. But at the end of the day, you yourself, there are individuals that they know that they're doing it too much and they end up getting into debt. Of course, them getting into debt, of course, the next person that is collecting the money, is making sales, but they are used to spending that money because they think that they have the resources and they end up getting into business.
Okay, very quickly, Mary,
So
can you hold this thought before we go on the
Okay.
break? When we come back, we'll get to you. So thank you so much. We're still discussing the topic overconsumption. When do we have enough? Or rather, when do we have enough? Correct. Let's go for this quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation.
Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking.
And we are here to hear you.
Welcome back. If you're just tuned in, it's our Ladies' Night Out, and we are discussing the topic overconsumption. When do we have enough? Please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation by sending us an SMS or WhatsApp.
Because as I feel like as a being, you always want more. At some point, I used to question myself. I'm like, aren't you tired? But there's more of everything. There's more
life,
problems.
there's always more,
there's always going to be more. So I'm like, I don't know what metrics we will use to rule that out. If you look at Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, all we truly need, like basic, is house, shelter, and food. So, but like, you can't just stay on that level. The moment you have those basic things, you're going to want more. The people at the apex level, that's why you can see the guy with multiple watches. You buy your first watch, you see the value.
They say, okay, from now till December, you're not going to get new clothes.
I
new
said
shoes.
right now.
No, I'm asking. Right now.
2 seconds ago is now.
No, let's
I said, but for every
duration.
now, and that's why we talk about contentment. Now, what's contentment? Contentment is not that you don't want more.
Yeah, of course.
But contentment means that you've just accepted that,
fine.
you know what,
Yeah,
every
I'm
now
fine
is
Not
fine
a lot
for
of people
you.
think that way, which is your line of thought is great. What's the word again? Contentment. Yeah, contentment is great. I mean, it's a good virtue, it's a good attribute to have, but not a lot of people have that school of thoughts that you should be contented. Some people's own is buy. The latest phone, buy. Everything, buy. You know, there are some people that say...
Contentment does not mean that you won't buy
no, contentment is...
if I see
it's not like you cannot buy. My
buy.
point is, if you don't need it, for instance, now you just
I don't need new phone, but I want it. But I'm contented with what I have.
You can see that you're not contented, you still want more.
No, I'm contented. But I still want the newest phone now.
What does contentment mean,
Mary
please?
is putting a line between want
So I
and
think you
need,
create your own.
and that's what you should understand.
Right? Wants
Like,
and needs.
forget it. It's
But
now.
you need a new phone.
No, I don't need a new phone.
But you
I
want a new phone. But
Yeah.
contentment is like what your needs is okay for you.
Contentment is that I'm okay. I'm not going out to steal now.
Hey,
I'm
nobody
okay.
say nobody say you're going out to steal. But that's just by the way. I think Alera wanted to say something.
I wanted to just point to the conversation around over-consuming or over-consumption. Before dollar went up and the cost of fuel also went up, when you're buying things in the market, you see people eating rice, they'll put egg.
The good old days.
They'll put egg, they'll put beef. They'll probably make 2 beef. You know, they'll put like plantain.
everything.
You see one meal that has like rich inside. Like you'll be like, one person wants to eat all of this. And then now that's 1 tuber of yam is like 4,000 naira.
It's 5,000 or
5,000, good. Everybody is now cautious of what they eat. But now you are eating 3 times a day and eating like a king, like they want to sell you. But now, because things are now extra expensive, people have to curtail what they consume. Because I feel like when it comes to food, yes, a lot of Nigerians, we used to chop, overconsume. You will eat 2 beef or 2 chicken or 2 turkey. If they don't give you 2 meat in that your food there,
So we
don't respect
we should be happy that things are expensive.
No, you have to survive. When things are expensive now, you will tell me whether the money that you would have used to eat in 1 month is what you used to eat in 1 week.
So they're
You
now
increase the
seeking-
money you're making.
No,
now.
they're now
Wait, from where are you
seeking
increasing the
A lot
money?
of people are seeking cheaper alternatives when it comes to even food.
Huh.
The other day I went to a conference. It
Is
was
it,
like
is it a good thing?
I went to a
There's nothing
it's
you
not
can
a good
do.
thing, but
You
it's,
have to
it's
survive.
reality. I went to a conference and that's when you know what overconsumption.
Buffet. Was it a buffet?
people were eating
So
breakfast, lunch, dinner.
We finished the conference and they said, oh, there's going to be a lunch. So everyone respectfully stood on a queue and tried, but you could see some people, by the time it got to half,
It was finished.
Are you serious?
all food was finished.
What?
And then you can imagine the people on the queue watching people go.
Packing.
Go back.
And then I saw some people's plate and I'm like, what?
Like, why?
You didn't even
What's
consider the
going
other
on?
people
You see,
behind.
buffet is
No,
one of the places that you will know glutons.
People that are hungry.
The guy came with one, he had two plates. He filled this one, he was not enough. He filled the second. And was walking down, and
Why
everyone
people
was
still doing
so
buffet in this
when
economy?
when it comes to food, when it comes to food and overconsumption, that is what I figure is overconsumption.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you're going to sit down on a toilet bowl, and that whole thing is going to come out,
NJ.
and you have to start all over again the next day.
You're going too far. The size of your stomach, with the size of your stomach, contain the massive bowl that but you will force yourself to eat overfeeding. I'm sure the
And that can, in other words, turn into a health complication.
Exactly.
Poverty driven. That's no.
Yes, it is. But guess what?
honestly,
those are the kind of things we have happening every day.
Yes.
So when it comes to overconsumption, even I mentioned petrol. Even with petrol, yes, I know that there's always this issue and everything. But even when there's a scarcity, for me, all I can do part-time is to fill up my tank and hope and pray that I can find another way to. And the max is that after that, even with a jerry can in my house, I have not, consciously tried to make sure it's filled, because most of the areas where you live, they don't allow you to have like just a.
It's actually very dangerous.
And it's also dangerous for you, because you might keep it with your security, and then they end up giving you half of water. So by the time you put it into your car, best bet, fill up your tank, and then hope and pray that whatever labor issues that they're having, whether it be it a strike, but those are the kind of things I think where we're getting to. We just have to. The issue then becomes our level of moderation. So we have to be moderate. Even when it comes to food, we've noticed that the price of raw materials have grown.
Very expensive.
Another way to deal with overconsumption is even growing your own food by yourself. There are certain things you can do by yourself. Some people sew for themselves, so they don't necessarily have to go to a tailor. So they don't, if you know that your tailor is the kind of person that always looking for your money, then you stop. It's just like when you know that every time you take your car to the mechanic, it comes back with double the issue. Then try and take it to him less times. Then your car is, do you understand what I mean? So if you take care of your car and take it for regular service, and then you don't have to take it to the guy every time, because you don't now have to wait till it's bad. So there's certain things that we have to do as individuals in order to caution ourselves. And for me, that's what we just have to pay attention to.
Okay, absolutely. So we have a comment. Mary, do you want to read it? We have a comment. So while she's looking at that, how many of you have checked your account statements, your bank account statements recently?
I checked yesterday.
People are
For a reason.
So,
okay,
read the comments first, Mary.
Overconsumption stems from consumerism. It is a major contributor to resource depletion. Although it's fair that people derive pleasure and others feel good and other feel good benefits from such kind of consumption, in my opinion, it's the psychology behind the action that is the main problem. Marketing and sales paint a picture of happiness, social status, and belonging to capture people into the habit of buying. Sadly, it is an endless cycle of self-gratification. Shop till you drop. We do not have the right to question how people spend money, but what's the essence of a family of 4 living in a 10 or 20 bedroom house? Right. How many cars do we actually need? Some are smart enough to monetize their excesses, but in most cases, it's for the sole purpose of consumption. Why would someone who doesn't have a house buy a Benz, for example? I think we might need to reconstruct our minds to prioritize functionality and needs over impulsive behavior. It's the underlying ideology behind the behavior. From Ejiro Jaden.
Thank you so much, Ejiro.
Ejiro, but please, there are some questions in there.
Like,
I would.
So which one don't you agree with?
The Benz.
No, like it doesn't.
He doesn't have a house.
No, excuse me. There's a Benz A120.
So he shouldn't have.
So
shelter.
why the Benz? There's a Range Rover. There's
shelter. He used Benz as an example because
Benz
the person doesn't
buy. How many people, is there everybody that has Benz that owns a house?
No,
not own. Like, you don't have where to live. Maybe I just squat.
How you don't have where to live?
Mary.
Go to Abuja.
Welcome to Lagos.
Go to Abuja.
Well, people are squatting and living lavish lifestyles.
I hear that
outside.
Abuja men.
And
you see them in
they have
nice cars, they don't have where to live.
They are just,
that's a
they keep
conversation
going
for
from
another day,
a friend's
don't
house to
worry.
another friend's house to another friend's house.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was asking earlier, how many, so all of you said you've checked your account your bank account statement. So I recently watched a video by, I don't know whether you know her, the founder of Money Africa, Tosin Olasende, yes. And she said, you basically just reinstated the importance of checking your bank account statements. And I hardly do it, but when I watched the video, because I got the I got the notification from my bank, the email, and I checked. I realized that, you know, there are some things that
Spend money
you don't know until you actually look at it and you're like, but at the end is that they're not way too expensive. When you now look at it, you just realize that I bought this twice. When I went to this place, and you really don't know. You know, so it's really important for us to, you know, for people who are unsure if or not they overconsume. I think it's very important to maybe look at your last 6 months bank account statement to be sure, or 3 months. You'll be
6 months.
You'll be depressed.
Or 3 months, or 2 months,
I think
or 1
the
month.
most depressing part would be opening balance and closing.
Please don't tell me
you know
about
when
it.
when you're checking credit and debit.
Credit is
And the
one.
next thing
Small
is
debit. I'm like, oh my God.
The credit is nothing. Dash. So I just want us to talk about the financial impact of overconsumption. So how are you able to manage it financially? Do you budget? Since you people say that you people don't need to overconsume, so how do you manage, or how would you advise somebody to manage their overconsumption habits? Do you have a budget? Do you have, you know, some people, when they see money in their account, they will spend it. So do you send it to another
Somewhere
account
else
that you cannot touch? So just give me the tips. Maybe I can follow so that Miriam will not take on my money again.
Sometimes, okay, like you mentioned some of the examples that I personally use, which is I have a separate account. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this online, but yeah, I have a separate account that I keep for certain things, like, you know, things that are important, things that of utmost need, that I have to settle in my lifetime. So, so, and then you have maybe
For necessities.
your everyday, you know, account where you spend all this small.
I don't want you to feel guilty for having that, because you're responsible for yourself.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that.
She just meant like the idea of the information.
Security, the information.
Oh, okay.
So I think that is one of the major ways that we can help, is just being mindful and being conscious and being intentional about, you know, our consumption, knowing when to say, okay, I think I've had enough. You know, wasting of food. I have a friend, I once met someone who made a statement. So we're eating together and I had some little food left on the plate. And the way he looked at me, and I was like, what did I do? And he was like, oh, that he's used to, went ahead to tell me how he's used to, you know, how I'm wasting food, and that 1 spoon, 2 spoons of food can, if we were to put all our leftovers together, would feed someone. And I won't lie, I felt guilty. And because of that, I finished food. And I started, but that helped me to start making a conscious effort to only take what I can finish. Because that is another overconsumption.
Just taking
more than what you can finish. So if you know that you're, if you're someone who wants to control like your food consumption, you change maybe how you serve rather than a flat plate.
It's hard.
No, that's why you have to practice.
No. In terms of you go and buy food, the food is expensive. Sometimes I'll be telling them something that is like 2 portions. I'll say, give me 1 portion. And I'll say, yeah, just wasting your money, because, or I'll tell them to split. What I do is like 1 portion. I'll not tell them split it into 2 packs. Because, but like, it's hard. How many places they are ordering food can you control like that? I'm talking because food costs, the rice is too much, but much more is to do.
So if you have it, if you eat it and it's left over, you put it in the fridge. You eat it the next day. You mix it with something else. But is the fact that, okay, maybe you just take food, you know there are some people that they don't eat like one, that's overconsumption. They don't eat like 1 pack. So they buy rice, they have noodles, they have fish, they have meat, they have this. You're not going to finish it that day. And they're the same kind of people who don't like to eat old food. So why buy that much if you know? And if you're used to eating that much, then just have friends over.
Yeah. Exactly.
Have friends over to help you. Because really, you're wasting food. Because it's another thing. Yeah, because there's someone who needs that food. There's someone. So I think it's just for us to be very mindful and conscious of waste.
Absolutely. So we don't have much time. So in 1 sentence, let's answer the question. That's the topic. Overconsumption. When do we have enough?
Never.
What about you, Alero? When do you have enough?
I don't overconsume, so I'm not on that boat.
Angie, please give me another answer.
I would say it is enough when you start to feel strange about it.
Strange as in how something is talking to you.
No, I mean, it doesn't have to talk to you. You know, sometimes we talk to ourselves. You're doing
like,
something and you're like, you tell yourself.
Yeah,
like,
don't like
when
yourself.
you were, tell me that when you were buying those, when you were buying all those excesses, you would tell, at some point in time, your mind will tell you, but two is okay now.
This,
then you now see yourself click 5. No, but I only need 2. Then you click 2, then you click 5, then you click 3, then you stop at 4. You know. So that is your conscience already telling you. And once your conscience is telling you, then you should listen.
Absolutely.
You should pay some attention.
Well said. Thank you, ladies. Before we go, do ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our social media engagements. And remember to like, share, comment, and invite your family and friends to watch us and follow us. If you missed today's quote, here it is again. Overconsumption and overpopulation underlie every environmental problem we face today. This quote is by Jacques Vescuster. I'm not sure I pronounced the name correctly, but please remember, buy responsibly and only buy what you need. See you tomorrow. From the cool ladies, my tribe members, thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.